are the only participant in the conference. The recording has started. All participants are muted, and they can unmute themselves.
Your mama sure does care about your schooling, son.
Beats Planet.
All right. All right. Welcome. Let me just check my sound. Shut up. Check my sound. Yeah, we good to go. Hey, shouts out to all the essential workers at the Blue Flame and all that, you know? Appreciate you.
Well, come on inside and get yourself something cool to drink.
What y'all doing, man? Another episode of Voch Lombardi Live. Live with a capital L. What's happening? Appreciate y'all for being here. Welcome, welcome. We here on this lovely Tuesday. We ain't doing nothing else. We're a little early. My bad. And y'all know whenever we early, boy, it must be something. Must be something. Nah. We're gonna hold it down. We're gonna hold down the fort today, man. I'm still setting up. Speaking of steel, I'm still setting up. So y'all just bear with me, man. Y'all hold me down for 2.5 seconds and everything gonna be all right. Appreciate y'all for being here. A little bit of housekeeping, man. Please hit likes on everything. Please follow everything on the socials. Please, hey man, let the volume know that y'all need a little bit more of this in your life, because that's the only way they're gonna do right, is if y'all look them in the face and say, hey, we need more Voch Lombardi Live with Voch and Will Steele. All right, so be sure to tap in. Follow me on all my social medias. That mean the world to me. You understand? And yeah, I'm Voch Lombardi. Wait, here we go. I'm your host, Voch Lombardi.
AKA Ferrari.
VOCHLOMBARDI. My man's Will Steele is not here, but he's still gonna get a little sound.
Gotta be handy with the steel, if you know what I mean. Earn your keep.
He's still gonna get his sound right, man. Skywalker, STEELE. He's taking care of some business on his side. You feel me? But we're still going to hit y'all with some hotness today. All right. I just want to let y'all know where my eyes are if my eyes start moving. Okay. I got a couple chat boxes up. That's all right. I got my phones right here. So if anybody call in, I got my phones right there. If y'all want to call into the show, I need to see where I'm at. I need to see me. There I go. If y'all want to call into the show, it's 202-926-1127, access code 309-104. If you want to tap into the show. Like I said, the phones are right here. The chat is right there. If y'all catch me looking right there, there's the chat right there. And there's another chat that's just kind of sliding up and down right there if we need to take a look at that. All right. So here's what we got on deck for y'all today. Got a little bit of Dan Quinn audio. And I know we just did Schottenheimer audio, but this that time of year where if anything come out, we gonna boogie and we gonna deal with it. You understand? And this whole Dan Quinn thing, I love to hear him talk. And maybe because, let's see which button we gonna. Okay.
Did you hear what I said?
Okay, we gonna use those two, right? When we hear Dan Quinn talk, right, it's damn near a breath of fresh air, right? I was born in 92, okay? So a lot of the cowboy issues that y'all talk about, I wasn't around. My fault, right? I was a youngster in the Wade Phillips era, but I really started getting into my fandom in 2010. Oh yeah. Come on now. What y'all water taste like today, bro? I really started getting into my fandom in 2010, right? So don't shun me for saying this. The only defensive coordinators I've really had a chance to interact with from a fan to fan basis, right? Just as a fan, just watching, critiquing, and just ingesting everything that comes from that defense coordinator, right? Wade Phillips was a guy that was head defensive dude in charge. Rod Marinelli was a guy that was head defensive dude in charge. Chris Bashar was like DB coach, but people kind of overrated him because he said that Byron Jones was a corner, the position he was drafted to be. People really love, Chris Bashar when he started yelling and screaming and shit, but he wasn't really fixing nothing. He was just yelling and screaming. I remember them Cowboy fans. Y'all remember that? Boy, I sure need me a coach to holler like that. Y'all remember that? Yeah, man, Chris Bashar was doing that old thing, right? And then we got Mike Nolan, and that was a thorn in the side for a little bit. Luckily, Rod Marinelli, Mike McCarthy, unlike Jason Garrett, see Jason Garrett will hold on to people and see if they can get their shit together, right? You know what I mean? Mike McCarthy understands job security a little bit more. So if he see you not doing what you're supposed to, get him out. So I at least give Mike McCarthy credit for that, right? So, you got to understand that when we get Dan Quinn as an offense, let me put a little bit on that. When we get Dan Quinn as a defense coordinator, you got to understand how different that is than anything that we've ever gotten, right? And it's one thing to speak it well, but when you get on the field, you end up shitty. That was the problem with Chris Richard, right? Because we love the rah-rah coach, right? But if you go out there and scream at Cheeto and the very next play Cheeto get beat deep, your screaming ain't do shit, player. It ain't do nothing, right? So there has to be some type of effectiveness with your talk, right? And when you're successful, you can say whatever you want, whenever you want to say it. This the dope thing about Dan Quinn, and this is what I really learned about fans, right? Y'all remember Mike Nolan went through that whole situation, right, where he was in the booth and he was coaching from the booth and was getting our ass kicked on defense or whatever, and Cowboy Nation was like, hey, maybe you need to come down on the sidelines. You could talk to these people about what you're seeing, right? And people kind of shit on what's his face, Mike Nolan, for a long time, and we laugh. We pointed our finger. We laugh at Mike Nolan for a long time. I feel like Mike Nolan, somebody's social media coordinator, hit up Mike Nolan and said, "Yeah, I think Cowboy fans want you to." They want you to come down on the field and start to coordinate from the field, right? And then we saw Mike Nolan get bullied into coaching from the field, right? Because we saw a little bit of success, right? And now us as Cowboy fans it must be better to be coaching from the field. Meanwhile, Dan Quinn coaches from the booth and nobody say shit to him. Dan Quinn coaching from the booth and don't nobody say shit to him. If Dan Quinn cut on CBS and just sat on his phone like, hey, tell Mike to line up right here. Listen, tell Joe Witt to tell AD to tell. He can coach from his phone, and we ain't gonna say nothing about Dan Quinn because the success dictates that, right? I was looking for my phone, but I couldn't find it. But here it is, right? Success dictates that, right? You can coach wherever you want to coach from as long as you're successful. So what ends up happening with leadership, right? With leadership, you tend to say whatever you want if you have proven yourself. If you're proven, you can do what you want to do, right? If Micah Parsons goes out there and says, hey, y'all playing like trash, pick it up. That's a good teammate. If Dorrance Armstrong come out and be like, hey, y'all playing like trash, pick it up. So that puts us in this situation where there hasn't been a defensive coordinator, from my knowledge. If y'all, 90 years old and y'all was around in the Jimmy Johnson era or whatever, cool. But there hasn't been a defensive coordinator that has been so successful that no matter what he says, I'm just whatever you say, sir. It hasn't been. Mike Nolan comes out and says, hey man, we need to get better. We know, motherfucker. You know what I'm saying? Dan Quinn has earned enough credit to look at us and be like, hey man, we need to get better. We look at Dan Quinn after saying that shit, we go, hey man, I trust Dan that he's gonna figure this thing out. And boy, to be fair, every time there was ever a problem, if there was ever a problem, Dan Quinn got it figured out. Hook or crook, boy, he got it figured out, right? Quick game was a problem, cool. Dan Quinn figured out a way to make people hold the ball longer. People started holding the ball longer. All right, cool. Then we ended up being one of the best sack teams in the league. All right, they started to mix in quick game with run game. Right now they started to run on us. Right, it took Dan Quinn a couple weeks to get it going, but Dan Quinn got enough clout. He got enough leadership that he can knock on the door and go, hey, we need to fix run game up middle. Steven, I know you don't want to give up picks. You don't even want to give up 5th round picks. Give me somebody. And Jonathan Hankins is here. And that just makes me think, right? I was around for Rob Brown, but I wasn't YouTuber analyst for Rob Brown or whatever. It makes me think, right? How many defensive coordinators have knocked on the door of Stephen Jones, Will McClay, whoever? They've made a suggestion, and that suggestion worked enough into them being able to make another suggestion. Rod Marinelli lost a lot of credit. When Rod Marinelli vouched for Taco and Tristan Hill, when Rod vouches for both those characters, bro, we look at Rod and go, hey man, you ain't allowed to say nothing else, bro. You're not allowed to say nothing else. And I don't know if Rob ever had to vouch for anybody or hell, if Wade was the head coach, but hell, I'd imagine Wade had to vouch for somebody. Like, you know, has Chris Richard ever vouched for anybody? Mike Nolan, has Mike Nolan ever said, hey, I need this kind of guy? Shit, we don't know, because Mike Nolan was only a part of one draft.
Did you hear what I said?
Mike Nolan wasn't around very long, but Dan Quinn has built so much credit in this thing, right? He's built so much credit in this room that we don't even blame Dan Quinn for missing on Nashawn Wright. Shit, because he got the other boys right, you know what I mean? Because he's hit on these other characters. We could talk about his losses, but just like I said with me, hey, talk about my wins, man. Talk about my wins too. And Dan Quinn has got enough credit in this thing where we can look at Dan Quinn and he can say whatever you want. Hey, I'm with you, Dan. I'm with you. Dan has built up so much credit for me that I've gone on record to say, hey, if Mike McCarthy win the Super Bowl, I'm still firing him because I don't want to lose Dan Quinn. If Dan Quinn is cool being defensive coordinator the rest of his life, kind of like Wade was, then fine. I'm on rock with Dan Quinn. But if it comes down to, hey, Dan Quinn wants to be a head coach somewhere and I got to pick between Dan Quinn and Mike McCarthy, I already feel like Mike McCarthy winning because of Dan Quinn. Shitting me. I already feel like Mike McCarthy winning because of Dan Quinn. I don't give a fuck what Dan Quinn. I don't care what Mike McCarthy wins Super Bowl wise. I'm vouching for Dan Quinn because that dude has proven himself to me. So now I'm listening to these press conferences, right? I'm listening to these damn press conferences, bro, and everything Dan Quinn said to me, boy, I'm just smiling. I'm just smiling. I'm just giggling. Yeah, I'm just giggling. Dan Quinn will come out and be like, yeah, so we gotta have a plan. Oh, he's so brilliant. He's brilliant. Brilliant. And you know, anybody can say that, right? And I'm like, all right, cool. You know, if Schottenheimer woulda came out and said, hey man, we gotta take these players and we got to use what they good at, play towards their strengths, and we got to take advantage of what they good at, right? We go, duh, Schottenheimer, you ain't got to tell us nothing we don't know, but let Dan Quinn say, and you know, we got to take these players and whatever they're good at, we got to utilize that, take what they're good at and erase what they're bad at and only use what they good at. Oh, Dan's a genius, goddamn. Oh, Dan's a genius. Because that's credibility. You've earned street credibility, right? And I've kind of gone through this with draft season, right? You know, people love to talk about my L's in draft season, but I think I've developed enough credit in draft season and hit on enough players in draft season to where if I don't like a player and everybody else don't like if everybody likes a player and I don't like the player, they'll at least do some research. Like, hey, Voch don't like him, I'll at least do some research. I'll at least do some research. You know what I'm saying? Dog, that's just how I feel about that's just how I feel about Dan. Dan says the easiest shit, man. Like 1 + 1 = 2, bro. Nothing I said was impressive, but let Dan. Well, guys, you know, you get one, and there's a cross and another, 2 lines, and you make them cross there, and then there's one on each side of those crosses, right? You take those same 2 lines that you make that cross with, and you make them parallel, and you make an equal sign, and so you take those ones and that cross on the other side of that equal sign. There's a 2. He's a shit, Dan make him the head coach right now because he's built that credit with us. So whenever I'm listening to Dan, right, Dan is really saying some shit that we be saying, right? Dan says the same kind of shit that we say. But boy, it's just that I believe him. I believe him when he say that shit. You know what I mean? It's kind of like being a rapper that actually shot somebody. Like if Lupe makes a song about shooting somebody. Yeah, Lupe, you ain't shot nobody. But like if the baby make a song about shooting somebody, the baby's probably gonna shoot that character, right? Like that's just what it is, right? Dan has built this. Dan has built street credibility with us, bro. So when Dan starts to get into these press conferences, bro, or these coaching availabilities after practice or whatnot, man, Dan, I want to differentiate whether Dan really spitting, or has he just gained so much credit what he says just sounds better. All right, let's run these clips. Let's go. Dan Quinn says, let me get up out of here. Dan Quinn says this. Let me load up the yeah. I mean, here we go. Dan on young players having top tier vets to learn from.
Young player, let's call him Mozzie, or a guy like Eric Scott. I would almost pay anything to have Jonathan Hankins mentor me. If I was Eric Scott, I would almost pay anything to have Steph Gilmore be in the meeting room, talk about it, a technique, something different. And so for the players who are here to take on that responsibility, knowing that these guys are going to help us play and let's help them get them to our standard fast, I think it speaks volumes of the locker room and the culture that Mike's created here, because think of yourself as that young player, knowing that you just almost, if you had that kind of support behind you with somebody helping you get there, you'd literally pay anything for it, because they've walked the walk at the highest level, and they're doing a great job starting us off on that.
Oh my God! Now, Chad, did Dan Quinn say anything special? Did Dan Quinn say anything special? The answer is no. God damn, he sound good saying that shit, boy. He just sounded good. He just sounded good saying that shit. Say it again, Dan Quinn. What you say? What Gilmore did?
Young player, let's call him Mozzie, or a guy like Eric Scott. I would almost pay anything to have Jonathan Hankins mentor me. If I was Eric Scott, I would almost pay anything to have Steph Gilmore be in the meeting room, talk about it, a technique, something different. And so,
man, that's facts though, bro. And look, that ain't nothing like ridiculously crazy. It don't take Bill Belichick to say that. You know what I'm saying? It don't take Voch Lombardi to tell you that or whatever, but boy, that's facts. That's facts, man. That is facts, bro. Like if you think about the guys that the Cowboys have brought in, right? Not the dudes that we drafted, because the Cowboys draft for the most part, right? But if you look at the dudes that come here that aren't drafted, whether it be Anthony Barr last year, whether it be Jonathan Hankins last year, whether it be Gilmore this year, Brandon Cooks this year, right? There's a young player that can just be in the room, just by rubbing shoulders with Jonathan Hankins, just by asking questions, just by being in the meetings with Jonathan Hankins, going, "Hey man, what that mean when this happened?" You know what I mean? And Jonathan Hankins just going, and I think this is when we really put our thinking caps on, right? This is where we put our thinking caps on. Let me just get my buttons ready here, right? Think about the Rod Marinelli era. And Rod Marinelli says, "Give me a room full of orphans. A room full of orphan football players, a room full of anybody, and we'll make it work." Okay. A room full of, and we'll just be nice and just say, I was about to say nobody's, but let's just say a room full of anybody's. This is what Rod said. Rod called them orphans, right? When you bring in a young player and you in a room full of orphans, who do you go to?
Did you hear what I said?
Who do you go to? Right? With there being veteran leadership on this team, Mike is the best player on the team, but he can still learn some linebacker things from Van Der Esch. Van Der Esch is a dude that can play. Van Der Esch got a Pro Bowl under his belt, no matter what we say about Van Der Esch. If he needs to learn D-line things, there's a DeMarcus Lawrence on this team for him. And y'all know D-Law, how he get down. And we even seen the evidence of it, right? I think it was a DallasCowboys.com video. It may have been like I forgot the video. No. Sounds of the Sideline, right? Appreciate you.com. Sounds of the Sideline. D-Law pulled Micah over and says, "Hey, listen, Mike, they about to do this to me. I'm going to go over there and do this. And when I do that, I'm going to take the double team and you'll get the one-on-one over there and get the sack. And Mike went out there and got the sack, right? Sometimes you have to surround yourself with veterans. Sometimes you have to surround yourself with better players, right? Because you may have young dudes and those young dudes may be talented, but there's still tricks to the trade that they got to learn that you may not necessarily want them learning on the job. Because if you're in a win now mode, Mozzie ain't got a whole bunch of time to just figure this out. Mozzie ain't got a whole bunch of time to just be trial and error in. You know? Which is where I think it's a disadvantage for guys like Schoonmaker. Schoonmaker comes into a locker room, into a tight end room. Shit, he older than everybody in there. There's only so much Jake Ferguson can teach him. But man, if you Jalen Tolbert, you need to be bothering the shit out Brandon Cooks, boy. Off-season acquisition. If you Trey Diggs, if you Deron Bland, if you Eric Scott, man, you need to be, Gilmore, teach me anything. Teach me how to get in my stance. Mozzie learn a brand new stance right now. Hey, teach me my stance. Teach me my stance. You understand what I'm saying? Like, what's his face? Mozzie could go to Osa. Mozzie could go to Osa to learn something. Even Osa going to Hankins. You see what I'm saying? Like you. So man, Dan Quinn spitting facts right now. Dan Quinn spitting facts right now. And I find it valuable that one, not only are they veterans, but we got veterans that can play, that will be on the field, that can teach you things on the go. Right? Hell yeah, you pay money to be in the room with them dudes. Dan Quinn is spitting. Now on this next clip, he talks about Gilmore in particular, Stephon Gilmore in particular. He was talking about just a handful of people, a couple of people reaching out to Dan Quinn talking about Gilmore and how much he's going to love him and how much he fits into this situation. Then he talks about the idea that Stephon Gilmore is willing to be a teacher to these young guys. This is what Dan Quinn had to say when he was asked about Gilmore being willing to be a teacher.
The question was, did I know that about Steph? When we did sign him, I bet I got 10 or 12 calls or texts to say, DQ, this is your kind of guy. You're going to love this guy. And that told me a lot about what. And then in the first interaction, just knowing how hard he works at it and then seeing the connection with Trey to start and then with some others, that was a big deal for me to see that and to say, not only do I have all this knowledge, I'm willing to share that wisdom. And that's a really important thing for coaches to do, but also for veteran ball players to do if they have that ability to share it.
It's an evil world we live in.
City boy!
Basically,
City boy! I just got out of jail.
You know you like to get wet though.
it's an evil world we live in.
What's wet? Butt naked. Ill. Churn. Dust. PCP. Primos. P-Dog.
Bro, even if Gilmore is only here for 1 year, man. Even if he's only here for 1 year, there's nothing but young corners on this team that can learn something from him. That can learn something from him. You know? And I think the Cowboys, including Cowboy fans, right? I think we all have an understanding that this is a room full of young dudes. So adding Stephon Gilmore, yes, it gets you a better player at cornerback too, for sure. First and foremost, y'all call into the show, by the way. It gets you a better player at corner. But just think about your room. Think about your room. Diggs is the second oldest guy. Besides that, you got Kelvin, Nashawn, who might be getting cut soon. We don't know. Guys like Eric Scott, Kelvin Joseph, who's playing special teams and could really use a little bit of help there. Like, we don't know what's going to happen with Jordan Lewis for real for us. I ain't even counting him, man. But we got just a room full of young dudes. And Deron Bland might have to be future outside corner one day. We don't know how that's going to go. But just the idea of having the veteran that can play, the veteran that not only is he a fucking veteran, but he's like one of the best players in the league, right? You know what I'm saying? I just think that's just valuable. I just think that's just valuable. Speaking of Eric Scott, I just wanted to pull this clip from Dan Quinn. Everybody's been talking about Eric Scott, but of course I can't watch Eric Scott. I'm here in front of the camera watching TV with y'all. But here's what Dan Quinn has to say about Eric Scott. Okay, cool. Here we go. All right, Eric Scott.
Generally, or what we are generally looking for with a player coming in, when you're in line and you're kind of counting reps. Okay, I think I can go here. I think maybe when you see a guy wanting the moment to go compete and knowing that, like, you know, I'm balling my fists up and say, I ain't leaving here. That's what I'm looking for specifically for the rookies, to have that kind of attitude to say, yeah, I'm here and I ain't going nowhere. And that kind of mindset and attitude is really what it takes for a young player to assert themselves into these moments, because that responsibility is real, to say, hey man, can we count on you when it's there? And them learning to do that early on, that's a big deal, knowing that, like, the amount of work that goes into it, say, I'm down for this challenge. You can count on me to get it done. And so I've seen that from Eric so far. All of the young guys are doing well, ups and downs, making some mistakes. But what we also have seen is when the light clicks on and you're able to go. I had 2 giant water bottles the other day and they were both full. I took the caps off and I just poured one right over the other. I said, I recognize this is your brain some days right now, while we're putting in all this defense and different things to go. But you just keep fighting through it and you keep making it there. But Eric's a good example of that. And Overshone's another one that has been into that space to say, I'm down for this. I want to be a part of it and I want to have a role here and I'm ready to prove that to you. So we got a lot of work to do between now and training camp, but that's a good 5-week window to get more training, learn the playbook better. And I'm hopeful by the training they've put in over the last month with us will carry them over into training camp where they can really put their best foot forward to show what they got.
Bands 5 over on the Vice side says, which rookie said this?
I just got out of jail and I ain't going back. I ain't going back.
I would love to know, I think media should ask Dan about more guys that he vouches for. You know what I'm saying? Because we always hear about, oh, this player vouched for this. I mean, this coach vouched for this player. Oh, this character. Oh, that's a Dan Quinn pick. Oh, that's a Marinelli pick. That's a Chris Richard pick or whatever. I would love for, for the media's, for the beat writers that's actually boots on the ground over there, right? I would love for them to get to Dan Quinn and be like, Dan, why'd you vouch for him? Why'd you vouch for Eric Scott? Why'd you vouch for Nashawn Wright? You know what I'm saying? Why is it that, why is it important that these like you may have drafted somebody around early, or 2 in the case of Nashawn Wright.
It's an evil world we live in.
City boy.
Like Dan, why did you vouch for these guys? Like, what is it about these guys that you like so much that made you go to front office and go, hey, I need this character, bring him here, I need him right now. Like, and he was just basically talking about Eric Scott. And, I think it's only so much Eric Scott can do right now. And I do think a lot of it is like preseason training camp. We just kind of need news right now, talk or whatever. I don't know how much they like Eric Scott for real, like in terms of like a permanent role. Are they going to try to make him a practice squad guy, whatever? But all you need is one vouch. Not like how people say my name, but like a vouch, like somebody vouching for you. All you need is one vouch, whether that be a vouch from your offensive or defensive coach or a vouch from Bones Fossil, the kicking game coach, right? If you got 1 to 2, especially 2 coaches, if you got one coach vouch for you, let alone 2 coaches, oh man, you ain't going nowhere. You ain't going nowhere. And Eric Scott seems like a dude to where when this cornerback situation gets kind of winds down a little bit, then he seems like a dude that is going to get vouched for. He seems like a dude that's going to get vouched for. And it's always funny that, they value holding on to these rookies over some of these, year 3 guys, some of these year 4 guys. So it's going to be interesting when we look at competitions like we should do a show on this one day, just to kind of get a good idea of it. But when we look at competitions like, all right, Junior Fajoko's here. What D tackle hasn't been living up to it? And we all look at Neville Gallimore and go, all right, okay, well, what's the business, Eric Scott is here. What cornerback hasn't been living up to it? we end up looking at Kelvin Joseph. Kelvin has found his place as a kicking game dude, but we look at Nashawn Wright for sure. You know what I'm saying? And we just, we can run down the list with all these draft picks. Mozzie's another guy, but Mozzie's not a guy that has to go through day 3, day 4. Day 2, day 3, undrafted free agent politics or whatever, right? Mozzie's a first round pick, and typically Cowboys don't really mess with those, so Mozzie don't count. But like, think about Fehoko. Think about guys like Overshown, right? Overshown's here. All right, so Harper's probably not a guy that's going nowhere because we just got Harper. But look at a guy like Jabril, right? Jabril can be on that bubble. Jabril ain't starting. You know what I'm saying? So Jabril's going to be fighting for his life versus Overshown, right? Talked about Fehoko, and it just ends up being this cycle. And at some point, if Fehoko doesn't end up doing anything that's impressive or important, then down the line, when we draft another D tackle, Fehoko is going to be a dude in trouble. Now, Jalen Brooks, the wide receiver that we drafted in the 7th round from South Carolina, I don't think Jalen Brooks finna come in and push Sammy or anything like that, or push Jalen Tolbert or nothing like that. You know what I'm saying? I don't think Jalen's gonna come in and push anybody. But what if Jalen Brooks comes out and have a hell of a camp though? Like if he goes crazy during camp. Okay, well, now he's pushing Sammy. What if he has a better camp than Sammy? Well, shit, then you move on from Sammy. And it just turns into this thing of the rookie guys versus the year 3, year 4 guys. That's the real competition here. So we'll break all that down when it's time to break those things down. I appreciate y'all for listening today. Shake my hand. Appreciate you. Let's get into these phones, man. See what the business is. Jalen Brooks has special teams value. Hey, TT. He does. And that'll be one thing that actually saves him here. Like if he can run down and tackle people, oh, for sure. Somebody says, nice watch, Voch. Appreciate you, sir. Appreciate you. As always, next man up for sure. All right, let's get into it. Let's get into it. We got a couple calls. Like I said, if y'all want to call in, numbers on the screen. Actually, we'll just go to there you go. The numbers under Marcellus Wallace, right up under the end button. All right, here we go. Mark, what up?
What up, family? How you doing?
Man, life good. I can't complain about nothing. What you got for me, sir?
Man, you make good sense. They're not for long in the NFL.
Come on, man.
Not for long.
Come on, man. Talk to me. Talk to me, Mark.
So, you don't not. I gotta give you credit. You the first guy that said the people the 3rd or 4th year, their battle will be against the rookies.
Well, see, look, I tell you why, though, Mark. I tell you why. Because they like the longer that they in the league, like their dollar amount gets a little higher, right? So if you not doing that much more than a rookie, like bro, like Neville Gallimore, you can save like $2.5 million with him, right? And $2.5 million don't sound like a lot, but if you cut 3 dudes at $2.5 million, 3 dudes, shit, 2, 5, that's $7.5 million, dog. If you just move on from 3 people and bring in some young dude, like some day 3 guy to come in and take their spot. So it's never the rookie versus the first year guy, because Jalen Tolbert, cheap still. But boy, Jalen Tolbert in year 4, shit, Jalen Tolbert better be somebody and prove that money.
Better be. And then I was listening to Big Game James.
Shouts out to James.
He had that Big Mike on there. And Big Mike was still talking about dropping receiver in the 2nd round.
Yeah.
Man, that's so stupid.
Oh, boy.
You got like 20 receivers on the team and talking about drafting a receiver. And he mad because they got the tight end.
Yeah.
But the tight end blocks.
Yeah.
The tight end go block his butt off. That Michigan tight end is the best blocker. And he run a 4.5, 4.6.
Right.
Come on, man. He's already built in the man body. Right. So it's not gonna be hard for him to pick up. Then he was complaining about the line. Oh, we should have dropped the Florida guy. I remember Big Voch, you did this. The guy for the Giants.
Yeah.
Everybody wanted. Second round pick. Same size as the guy from Florida.
Hernandez and Osiris Torrance. Yeah.
Yeah, what's Hernandez at now? Voch. Where's Hernandez at?
Hernandez might be at the crib working at the grocery store, I believe. I could be wrong, but I don't know. Google this shit.
So, Big Mike, if you hear this, I hope you hear this, because you was on Big James show today. You crying about some, I ain't gonna curse, but you crying about the guard from Florida, and that guy, Hernandez, played just like him. The Cowboys want some linemen that know how to move, because they gonna run that scheme like the Seattle did when your boy threw for 41 touchdowns and 5 interceptions.
Yeah.
Come on, man. It's a scheme. We never had a scheme.
Right.
And then you was talking about the running back with Ezekiel Elliott and all that.
Yeah.
Oh, man, I don't want Zeke. It doesn't matter. I don't care who we have. With the new scheme, I can run back there now. Yeah. Because we ain't running straight to where the power at with Video King Raheem.
Right.
That's what he hurt. He got Zeke hurt. Yeah. He didn't use that guy Davis like he's supposed to. So you guys be coming on these shows and don't be knowing football. Y'all be acting like y'all know football, but y'all don't know football.
Yeah.
I'm like, man, y'all be killing me when y'all be acting like y'all know what y'all be talking about.
Yeah.
Man, stop coming on the show. You're saying stupid stuff.
Yeah.
Oh God, I hate that, Voch, man.
Yeah, I feel you.
Do your homework. Like Voch said, go do your damn homework.
I'll let you finish.
Talking about some we need a receiver in the second round.
Yeah.
Man, get the hell out of here.
Yeah.
We ain't running them stupid option routes no more.
Right.
I can run a 9 route. I can run a down and out.
Yeah.
I can run a slant. Now the receivers ain't thinking. Some option routes, they couldn't pick it up, dummy.
We created it.
Come on, man.
No.
Yeah.
That pissed me off, Voch. I'm just hot with that guy. He pissed me off today.
Yeah.
We made it.
I want to get on that show and tear him up.
Well,
He's still crying about it. We should have got a receiver in the second round. Man, I'm going to tell y'all something. If we lose one player and we can't win with one player, that means we got shitty coaching. It's just like you said with Dan Quinn. Dan Quinn don't care if next man up. I don't care who go down. The next man got to come up and play. We got to stop being like, if the guy, somebody get hurt on the Cowboys, it's like it hurt our whole team. Damn. That's sorry coaching, man.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying, Voch?
Yeah.
If anybody get hurt for the Cowboys, oh well, put the next man up and let's go. Damn. That pisses me off.
Yeah, man. I hate that shit.
I
hate that.
Yeah, man. Everybody Cowboys. Oh, man, our guard get hurt. Oh, we in trouble. Our tackle. Oh, man. Our receiver get hurt. Oh, we gonna lose. Man.
You know, it's almost like, Marv, it's almost like we draft guys for depth for no reason, huh? That what they think, huh?
Yeah. That's what they think. And they think the players on the bench. This guy talking about drafting. We need then he said, Big Mike, I hope he listens. I love the debate here. He talking about, and I hope Big James hearing this. He said, oh man, if we lose our receiver, we in trouble. Or we lose our guard, we in trouble. Let's go trade let's trade a pick for another receiver. What the hell we need a damn receiver for? And you didn't use the receivers last year that run 4-4s and 4-3s. And he laughing at Simi. Hey, I'm going to tell you something about Simi. I was at the camp. Voch was there. Simi was the best motherfucking receiver at the camp. Dumbass. Come to the camp. He had that dumbass coach, Kelly Moore, out there. Didn't know what the hell he was doing with the receivers. And I'm looking at teams around the league. They use their second and third round picks, and their receivers got 400 to 500 yards because they ain't doing them stupid ass option routes. Man, learn how to call plays. Learn how to coach, bro. Man, all you guys that come on these shows, please stop talking dumb. Come to the camp and watch the camp. Acting like y'all know these guys. They acting like they Dan Quinn or the coaches. They know better than us. You just a damn fan. Be a fan and cheer, dumbass. I'm sorry, Voch. They pissed me off, man.
Yeah, man. It's like they ain't even got faith in the players. I mean, come on, man. Like all these dudes is pros, man. I mean, like we've seen, the Cowboys get hurt and overcome injury all the time, right, Marv?
Yeah. This ain't that dumbass the coach we had before when the tackle, they put that tackle in there and made the other guy for Atlanta look like an all-pro because he didn't help nobody. That's dumbass coaching. I would have put a tight, hey, let's keep the tight end over there. I want you to help him so Dak Prescott don't get sacked 8 times. What the hell is that? That's just dumb coaching, man. And all these players like Video King, all these guys is like, oh, let me go get Voch the All-American. Oh, let's try to get him off the Redskins. Now, how the hell they gonna trade Voch to you and he an All-Pro? That's the Cowboy fans are the dumbest fans I ever seen in my life, man.
Hold on, time.
I don't fucking believe it.
Wait, hold on, Mar. You said trade Voch?
I'm just playing like you an all-pro guard, and they say, oh, let's trade somebody for Voch from the Red, like you playing for the Redskins, and you an all-pro left guard. Oh, let's trade for the left guard, Voch, and we could get, man, it's fucking dumb as fuck.
I can't play.
Man, you fans, stop coming on here and don't know football. Man, let the players play. Voch, I wait till the season start. I wait till the training camp. I want to see and let them play. Let the best man win. That's how I look at it. I'm not going to assume that, we need to go get so-and-so already. That dude, Big Mike, pissed me off today. He talking to Big J, talking about, we need a guard. Oh, man, we need, don't put Tyler Smith that guard. Keep him at left. No, Tyler Smith is the baddest guy in the NFL. The Cowboys they drafted better than everybody. So that guy, Milk, already know he's going to be the starting left guard soon anyway, left tackle. So if he had to play guard, like you say, Voch, he's a winner. That's what you want on your team. He's doing a sacrifice for the team because he want to win a Super Bowl. If he has to play guard, albeit he shall play guard until Tyrone Smith retire, then I'll be the starting left tackle for the rest of my. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And that's smart. He want to win. Man, y'all shut up on here. Don't come on our show acting like y'all know what y'all talking about, and y'all don't need to watch film. Y'all ain't been in no camps, and y'all acting like y'all doing the drafting. Don't know shit about football. Man, they pissing me off, these fans. And the dumb guys that come on the show, oh yeah, man, we need a guard. And look what you just said, Voch. Hernandez ass somewhere sitting down, and that's the player all the Cowboys fans wanted. Voch, you remember that? We need Hernandez. Hernandez is the same size as the Florida guard. Yeah. That the Cowboys didn't want. Osiris. And Hernandez, big 245-pound ass somewhere at the grocery store.
Osiris touring something, Marv. Yeah, I know, that's crazy, bro. Osiris ain't good, man. But listen, man, Marv, the way I feel, bro, we should just trust the Cowboys, man. We should just trust the Cowboys and what they do. Every time the Cowboys pass on somebody and that player go out, well, shit, not every time, but most of the time, the Cowboys know how to draft, man. The Cowboys know they know how to find value later on, man. You know what I'm saying? This ain't no problem, man. They know what to do.
They know how to draft, you know what I'm saying? And then, like you say, they be get Kevin Joseph is just like our number 7.
Right.
Kevin Joseph only played really 2 years of football at corner.
Yeah.
Stop saying this man is a troublemaker.
Right.
The man is not a troublemaker. No. Just because somebody at home, it's like me and Voch at home playing video games all day. So y'all gonna say we a troublemaker because we at home playing video games? And y'all get mad because one of his dumb friends did something stupid? And he did the right thing. He turned his friend in like he's supposed to.
Sure did.
Shit. I ain't going to jail for this fool. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. He's supposed to be acting like a good Samaritan like me.
A good what?
And we go to a club and we chilling and he do something stupid. Like, I'm not going to jail for you. Yeah. And y'all still complaining. And this man already said he came on the show. Did they watch the show that he came on with the other boys? This man confident. And he made a bad in the Jacksonville game. Yeah. But hey, number 22. That played for Cincinnati used to get torched. What's his name? That used to play for us?
Cheeto Awuzie.
Yes. And then number 30, then he finally got better because he kept playing. It's like you say, Voch, if you don't play these guys, you never know.
You never
That's
know.
That's why it's best to play them guys in preseason Let them play all 4 games. Do not play your veterans. Yeah. And you make a good sense, Voch. I do not want the veterans playing. They can play 1 series and then let everybody else play.
Yeah.
And see who and make the best man win.
What you think about the fans? What you think about the fans that say Dak need to play in every single preseason game? What you think about them?
No, well, if it's a new offense, he can play every preseason game, but you play him in the first half, get his rhythm, boom, set him down. Then the next game, do it again. Yeah. Then the third game, do it again. And then the fourth game, that I think what's the second game when he played the most, or is it the third? Is it the second or third? Second
game, dress rehearsal. Yeah, the second game.
Okay, the dress rehearsal, let him play a half, and let him do like that, and then we play him like that so he can get a rhythm with the receivers, and then I gotta go back to that guy, Big Mike. He acting like Cook. Cook is one of the most dangerous receivers in the Cowboy fan. Do you know Cook got over 8,000 yards receiving? One of the most dangerous receivers in the NFL. Can run every route tree. This guy's more dangerous. He gonna open it up for CeeDee Lamb and all the receivers.
Who is Big Mike, Mar? Who is Big Mike?
Big Mike be this white guy that come on Big James show.
He a YouTuber?
Oh my God, yeah. He come on the show with Big James. When you talk to Big James, tell that big dummy, Big Mike.
It's Big Mike.
We don't want no damn receiver. If they would have dropped the receiver in the second round, I would have been pissed.
Chad, who is Big Mike?
Now that would have been you go to, when you look it up, everybody on the show, go look at the show today. Big James had Big Mike on the show, and he was, oh man, yeah, I was so disappointed because they got Screwmakers.
That's how you talk.
Oh man,
that's how you talk, Mark.
The tight end. He was mad because we dropped the tight end. Let's go do the blocking. And y'all dummies, when they talk about that's big. Let me tell y'all something. Cowboy fans. When the Cowboys talking about running, they talking about running, and Voch could vouch for this. It was second and 2 guys. Then we gonna run. We ain't gonna run to the team strength. We might do a screen or we might do a sweep. You see what I'm saying?
Right.
We ain't gonna go back and throw a pass when it's second and 2 and we throw an interception. Now, if we running on them so bad, Voch could vouch for this. They are up on the lineup, and then we can hit them over the top with Cook on second and 2. That's what you thought. That's what they talking about. They talking about situation football, all you dummies.
Situation.
The running game is going to go with the passing game. Voch could tell you this. We're going to run when we supposed to. We're going to pass. And we're going to cycle when we supposed to. That's what they talking about. They're going to build a foundation and situation football. That's how you win championships. Oh, my God. Please, go do your homework and come to the camp and stop trying to be a draft analyst. Y'all don't know nothing about the players. Y'all just go by what people say on ESPN, and them players are sorry. Just like you said, Voch, Hernandez is sitting at home begging, can I get a job somewhere?
Hey, Marv.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Unbelievable.
Yeah. Hey, man. This was a pleasure, Marv. I didn't know that they made you mad like this, Marv. But listen, you
they pissed me off.
No, it's okay, Marv. Hey, listen, you did a fantastic job of expressing yourself today. Put your cash app out there, man, just in case anybody just wanna bless you with something. Go ahead, put your cash app out, Marv.
Marvin L. Jenkins Jr.
Marvin.
The conference has been locked.
Marvin L.
Hold on, wait.
Jenkins Jr.
Okay, Marvin L. Jenkins Jr. That's a long name.
Yeah.
All right, Marv. Hey, man. Hopefully somebody sent something to your cash app. Hey, man. I hope you find peace with these people. But keep watching Voch Lombardi Live. We love you, man. Appreciate you, Marv.
All right. Shalom.
Yes, shalom. Hey, man, listen to me, bro. I know a lot of people don't rock with the phones, bro. Let me pull this up. I know a lot of people don't rock with the phones, boy. But come on, man. And look, I hate to say it, but the rest of these calls got to be a little short. I hate to tell you, but the rest of these calls, not like crazy short, but you know. Hey man, once they going, you gotta let them keep going, bro. You gotta let them keep going. But look though, shouts out tomorrow, and shouts out to Big Game James and all the guests that come on his show, because they might watch my show also. All right, let's get back to work. Mark, what up, man?
Hey, what's up, big man? What's up?
What's good with you, man? What you got for the show?
Woo, boy, Marv. That's your dude. That's your man.
Hey, man. Hey, man. I love Marv, but you just gotta let him rock sometime, man. Just like you got
to let it rock. I hear you. Hey, look, I just wanna, I love you. I love you, brother. But I'm gonna push back just a little bit, just a scotch here on Mike McCarthy and Dan Quinn. First of all, we got to give Mike McCarthy some love for hiring Dan Quinn in the first place.
Yeah, I agree.
And I think what we miss sometimes between the dynamic of Dan Quinn and Mike McCarthy, Mike McCarthy kind of worked with a handicap. He took the job because he kind of, the Joneses again kind of told him what dinner he was gonna have to cook, because we're gonna buy the groceries for you.
Yeah.
Dan Quinn has had autonomy.
Yeah.
So we can easily see Dan Quinn's influence on everything on the field where the players are concerned. And their influence has moved up into the front office with some of the decisions that they make. You know, we talked about, hey, the Cowboys, they don't re-sign no safety, no free agent safeties. You know, they don't draft no defensive tackle.
Yeah.
They're doing that specifically because Dan Quinn has proven himself, probably more through when the Cowboys were struggling than anything else. He proved that he had answers, or he could find answers. So you trust his judgment.
Yeah.
That's not something that, in McCarthy's defense, on the offensive side, he's had the ability to do or show us, because he had to work with Kellen Moore. And not to say that he had to work with Kellen Moore. I've always been, hey, look, man, he's the head coach. He needs to pull a rank. Shit going left, he needs to say something. He didn't do that often enough. So I get people being upset with him about that. But what we're going to get to see now, because he's going to have the responsibility that Dan Quinn has in shaping the offense to be what he wants it to be, so that he knows how to fix it when it's not going well. So that's what I'm hopeful for seeing the next season or so. I don't think, as far as job security or nothing like that Mike McCarthy got anything to worry about. If Dan Quinn wanted to go, he could go. He could have done that a couple of years ago.
Yeah.
I think he just might have settled into being a defensive coordinator. Maybe he figured out in Atlanta, hey, I might just be a defensive coordinator, not a head coach. Nothing wrong with that. God knows the strength, he's gonna stay to it. Nothing wrong with that. Yeah. Particularly here with the Cowboys, he punched a ticket. He wins the Super Bowl here. He punched any ticket he wants. So for me, I kind of just I get you with Dan Quinn. Dan Quinn is running shit, and he should be, because he knows what he's doing.
Yeah.
What I would like is for Mike McCarthy, because now he has what Dan Quinn has had, is autonomy.
Yeah. And
that's not all of Mike McCarthy's fault. That's the Joneses was always going to mess around with the offense, because that's what, particularly Jerry, that's what he wanted to do. Anytime a player transaction was involved, that's Jerry want to get this player. He want to go get this guy. He want to put somebody there because he wants credit for it, or whatever the case. They never cared as much about the defensive side of the football that Joneses did, and that gave Dan Quinn a lot of room to operate. But hopefully Mike McCarthy will get that room now, because that's the ball's in his court now. So that's what I'm hoping I'm going to see, man. So,
we'll see, Mark.
So keep doing what you do, Voch, and we get off the phone because you got people to get to.
No, hold on, wait. Let me just say this to you, Mark. I actually like what you're saying, though. I actually like what you're saying, and the whole I choose Dan over Mike only comes if, all right, Mike has put himself in such a situation to where he's bulletproof. Like, if we win a Super Bowl, Mike McCarthy probably coming back. But I love Dan so much that I don't want to lose Dan. But where I give Mike McCarthy a ton of credit, this where me and you on the same page here. We've seen so many times Jason Garrett see something not working, and he'll just and he'll just wait another year to just see if it changed without doing nothing to it. We have seen Jason Garrett do that so much. As soon as Mike McCarthy sees something working or not working, he's gonna address it, or he's gonna rock with it. right? So I got to give Mike McCarthy credit for going, hey, Dan, I know you on the head coaching market, and I know Jerry Jones been talking all this Sean Payton shit, and I know Cowboy Nation would love to see you here over me. But Dan, could you please come back and be the defense coordinator for my team? He understood that. He understood that Mike Nolan had to go immediately. Tom Sula had to go immediately, and he had to retool.
Right.
And he went to go get Dan Quinn, who's way better than him. He had to go get Dan Quinn and put his pride aside for his defense to be Teflon. So I give Mike McCarthy all the credit in the world for that, sir. You ain't lying about that.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yeah. No, again, that's good. That's good CEOing.
Yeah.
McCarthy might be a better in that role, that CEO role, than Dan Quinn was, in my estimation. He might be.
Yeah.
But again, as it relates to, I don't think that Mike McCarthy's on any kind of hot seat.
Yeah.
I just don't think that personally. I don't see any reason for him to be. I get people thinking that, but no, he's not. And again, as it relates to what he's going to be able to do and what he's doing with the offense system-wise, I hope he gets the time that Dan Quinn got. Dan Quinn got 3 years into this thing. And Dan Quinn got to go through his bumps and to go get players if he wanted them, to put that culture on that side of the football together like you were talking about. Got the veterans in place for the young guys to learn from. All that stuff is Dan Quinn knowing what it takes to build teams. That's not about collecting players. That's about building teams. Don't matter if it's offense. It don't matter if it's all pros. Ain't no team, then you ain't got nothing. You got a whole lot of nothing.
Right.
And so that's what I'm looking for from this season forward, as long as Mike McCarthy is coaching and more involved offensively. Whether he's calling plays or he's going to let Schottenheimer or whatever, as long as he's got his hands on that definitively, for me, it'll be easier for me to say, well, Mike McCarthy need to move around, or we need to move him around, or whatever the case may be. But right now, I want to give him a shot because Dan Quinn got 3 years, and he got left alone to run that defense the way he wanted to.
Yeah.
Again, that's a lot to do with the Joneses really not caring about the defense because, they into the bells and whistles and the shiny stuff.
Yeah.
Then they had their hands over there in Mike McCarthy's pocket too much over there. And that's not necessarily Kellen Moore's fault. But, if he was going to keep Kellen Moore, that should have been Mike McCarthy's decision. That shouldn't have been theirs. And that kind of derailed things for the last couple of years. But hopefully Mike McCarthy will be able to earn some of that trust and some of that respect that Dan Quinn has. So go ahead, man. Get to your other people. I appreciate it big and stay up with it, man.
Appreciate you, man. Good call. Good call. April says, I should be asleep. I might not go to work tonight. Voch got me messed up. You can't miss shows. Let me walk call. Let me get one call. Hey, man, listen, chat. I really don't just say you can't miss shows. I don't really just say that, hey, we have a great show and it's entertaining and y'all might not want to miss things, right? It's like I can't bank on certain things happening. I can't just predict certain things happening. You know what I mean? Like in my mind, I thought we was just talking about Dan Quinn today. Like, I didn't expect that to happen, So when I tell y'all, hey, don't miss shows. Don't miss shows. I tell y'all don't miss shows because I don't know what the hell gonna happen. You know what I mean? So for those of you that are here, I appreciate y'all for being here. Swatty Cop. Appreciate y'all. Let's get DC on the phone, see the time out. What's up, DC?
What up, my boy? Just trying to stay lower than a room full of midgets at a strip club.
You can't say the M word. We're on the volume, sir. Come on. What's good with you, dog? What's good? What's good? At a strip club, that's crazy. At a strip club, though, that's crazy. But what's up, bro?
Not too much, man. Hey, Rick. So what I was thinking about it on the Dan Quinn side, right?
Yeah.
So the fact that we have Gilmore now with the two stud cornerbacks, do you think that it's more beneficial for this pass rush for us to play more press or for us to play more off coverage?
Shit, man. Whatever's better for them, I mean, they can do both. It depends on what all three of them can do well in tandem. We know Diggs can do both. We know Gilmore can do both, but he's better off. Deron Bland can do whatever he wants because Deron Bland get picks regardless. Like we've seen Deron Bland get picks regardless. So, I mean, I just think Dan should just mix it up like he does everything else. But regardless, just having three cover guys that can get their hand on the football, that's going to help the pass rush in general. That's going to help the pass rush regardless, The only reason why Because look, I even think that if other teams want to try to beat the pass rush by getting rid of the ball quick, that happened last year. Teams started getting rid of the ball quick, but after a while, if we putting up points and you dink and dunking in the first quarter, and you dink and dunking when you down by 10, and you dink and dunking when you down 17, you never gonna catch up. So you can dink and dunk all you want to. We just gonna come up and tackle. As long as we come up and tackle, it works, right? And what ended up happening is, towards the end of the season, teams would try to mitigate that by just throwing the ball deep versus cornerback 2. You can't throw the ball deep versus cornerback 2 now. You know what I mean? So that's my whole point. And Dan's defense just has become Teflon over this offseason, because any impediment, bro, we played against the Jags last year, and I'm doing my live stream. People like people can vouch for this. They was watching, right? And it was like 3rd and 8 for the Jags. And I'm like, all right, pass rush, here it come. And they hand the fucking ball off. Not even a draw. It wasn't a fake. It wasn't a screen. It wasn't a swing. It wasn't a bubble. It was a handoff. Because they feel safer handing the ball off on 3rd and 8 than dealing with Micah and the boys. Now, we've taken that, right? We've taken that, and we've upgraded Carlos Watkins with Amazi Smith, and we've upgraded cornerback 2 with a top 5 corner in the league. What do you do now? What do you do here? Your only choice,
I have no idea.
Your only choice is to start throwing back at Diggs. And that ain't good for you. And that ain't good for your health. Yeah. That ain't good for your health. What you gonna do? What you gonna double move them every play? Because I'm sure they're gonna work on that this offseason. Hey, Diggs, don't always take the bait.
Now here, that brings up another thing that I was thinking about too.
Please.
What would be the viability of doing a thing where you have Gilmore playing man on one side and you kind of let Diggs play a little bit more of an off zone? Is that viable? To kind of let him sit back a little bit farther, and it negates the double move, and it also allows him to play with his eyes on the quarterback.
Man,
Gilmore shutting down one full side.
Man, I think Diggs does everything. Diggs he'll just bite on the double move sometimes. But Diggs only been playing cornerback all together for like 6 years. You know what I mean? Like, bro, if you just tell him, hey man, read your keys and if Diggs don't get greedy. And sometimes he should be able to get greedy, right? But if Diggs don't get greedy,
he's gonna get greedy. He's not
fine.
Boogie, man.
It's fine.
Wait for the pot to get big, and then he's gonna snatch the money and run.
But you know what? Even if that's the case, that's fine. If Diggs give up one big play, like one double move every 5 games, I don't care, because you still can't throw on cornerback 2. You still can't throw on Bland. You still just can't run the ball when you want.
I'm gonna give you one more thing. And it's a conspiracy theory of mine. One thing about Dan Quinn. How do we know that he was not one that was instrumental in getting Kellen Moore to fuck up out of there? Maybe he went into Jerry's office and was like, look, I'll stay, but we can't keep having this happen, man. I can't have my defense going back on the field 3 and outs at the end of the game, and then it looked like it's on us. Nobody's ever really explored the angle of maybe Dan Quinn said, let's get Kellen Moore up out of here.
Look, I love good mess. Nothing makes me happier than good mess. And that is some fantastic mess if that's the case, because it just threw me for a loop if that's the case. But Kellen got up out of there because Mike McCarthy ain't want him there. That's it. That's all.
Because Dan Quinn had to be pissed at the end of that Green Bay game and towards the end of that San Francisco game. He had to be thinking, what the hell? What else I got to do?
Mm-hmm. I love the idea though. I love the idea though. Got this sound fun. Appreciate you, DC. Good call, man.
Yes, sir.
Man. I love me some good mess chat. I love it. 214. What up? Who this?
Hey, Vice, this is Mr. Clemson. How you doing?
What's good with you, my guy? What you got for the show?
Hey, I love that conspiracy theory. I can see how after last year we had Big Mike losing to the Packers, and then Quinn didn't want to lose to Shanahan, and get beat that way, and then I could just see him going in like Assassin's Creed with his bald head and taking him out.
Oh, come on!
But I just want to I just want to thank you. This is my first call, and I want to let everybody know the best value on the internet today is that $1 a month Patreon you got. It's got so much stuff for $1 a month, and I just want to say thanks for putting that content out there. That's awesome.
Hey man, appreciate you. We we work hard, and it's kind of like it's a business for me, but I try to put a lot of information on there. You know what I mean? It's for just $1. You know what I'm saying? I try to put a lot of stuff on there. So hey man, appreciate you for being a part of it. Salute.
And I love to see some of those Twitch recordings pop over there too. When sometimes I don't get a time to get on Twitch, so I'd be able to hit over there and keep up with things because you miss stuff around here.
Hey, it's cool. But hey, they will be on my other YouTube channel, Voch Reacts. So go to my YouTube channel, Voch Reacts. That's where the highlights from Twitch end up, twitch.tv/Voch Lombardi. Voch Reacts on YouTube. Appreciate you.
I appreciate that. Also, I was wanting to talk about what kind of the difference between Garrett we saw. He's kind of like one of those college professors that knows the ins and outs in the books, and he saw it and he knows what he's supposed to be doing, but he can't do it. And Big Mike, he comes in, and Garrett was trying to build a culture, and you can see when Dak came, the culture changed on the offense. It wasn't Garrett, it was Dak. Yeah. And Big Mike comes in, and he's trying to take control of the offense, and we'll see how it works this year. And with Quinn, and then the defense, we're wondering about the defense, and then we got Micah. And Micah's coming in, completely changing the culture. What I love to see is the way he works, seeing such a great player, the best player on the team, reaching out and getting better, reaching out to the old guys, working with old Hall of Famers, talking to, the first year he starts talking to DeMarcus Ware. And it's just amazing to see what he's going to do to this defense. The culture of the team is, I'm just looking for forward to big things this year because, old Jerry and Steven, that they're plugging up the holes on the defense and offense like the Flex Seal commercial. Yeah. There's a hole and they're slapping Gilmore on it. Yeah. There's a hole, they're drafting Mozzie. So I just look for, I see big things. I was around whenever they're rebuilding and during the Jimmy years, and it's really got that same kind of feel whenever like they're going to turn that. They just need to pop that San Francisco win in the playoffs, and it's going to be smooth sailing from there, I think.
Yeah. And listen, I think there's something to your culture is only as good as your best player, So if like D-Laws if he's the best player on your defense, then your culture is going to be based on what he calls, and that's cool, right? But now we bring in a dude better than him. So this is Micah's culture now. And Micah, like his mindset, right? I want to win everything. I'm trying to get better at everything. I want to do all things to make me better in this offseason. And Micah ends up pushing guys like Sam and Dorrance and all those other characters, man. So it just I think it just depends on who your best guy is. Tony was a great quarterback in my opinion, but some dudes kind of called him selfish. A lot of people didn't like Tony. There's not a Cowboy player that we've heard talk about Dak that ever got anything bad to say about Dak. So, hey, I just think that's just the quality of dude that Dak is. But, hey, fantastic call. You say your name was Clemson?
Mr. Clemson, yeah, like the university.
Okay, cool. I'm gonna put you down in. Here we go. I'm gonna put you down in the phones. It's Clemson. Next time you call in, we'll know it's you, man. Appreciate you.
Appreciate it. Bye.
Thanks for the support. There we are, chat. And there we are. Fun day today, man. What a day today. Let's see. There we go. Da-da-da-da-da. Supers. Da-da-da-da. Supers. Da-da-da-da-da. Supers. Da-da-da-da-da. Supers. All right. I never get tired of this song. I never get tired of this song. It is so good to me. I never get sick of it. I can hear this and the whistle song all day, and I never get sick of it. Ever. Here we go. All right. On the let's start the volume side. On the volume side, somebody said Marv was sick of this. Sir, come on, man. Okay. April dropped a dime in the super chat. I'm so glad to have April back. Have my auntie back. I just, I get a little jealous, man. I go to other people's chat box. You know what I mean? Support their show. I see April in there. I'm like, man, I miss my auntie. But I know she working hard. I know she loves us. I know she always watch back. TT dropped a dime and says, wasn't all in last year. This season, I'm excited. Experienced winning coaches and vets to put this thing together. Hashtag Okoye. Now, is that something Okoye said, or you just, saying that over your years of experience, this is the knowledge that you accumulated? Because that's just an incredible acronym by my guy Okoye. Appreciate you, April. Appreciate you, Okoye. There we go. And on the Voch side, sick of this. Today, 13th. Kenny Lott dropped a dime and says Parsons Defensive Player of the Year or Dak League MVP. Man, Dak gonna have to go undefeated to get the league MVP because Cowboys got to be great on a curve or whatever. So I don't think Dak's gonna get the MVP. But then again, I don't need MVP. I'm past numbers and stats and MVPs and all that shit. I just want my team to be great, So I'm over like the awards or whatever. Micah definitely getting Defensive Player of the Year though. I be damn. Appreciate you, brother Kenny. And then Reginald Cofield dropped a deuce and says Marv related to Irvin. The way he turned up. Okay, yeah. Marv is related to Michael Irvin. The way that they turn up. Man, look, I never heard Marv turn up like that. I didn't know Marv had that in him. Yes, all together it's accumulated knowledge over years of experience. Not to Okoye though. Salute to Okoye. Thank you so much, TT, for your contribution. Appreciate you. Appreciate you, Reggie, for your super Kenny. All y'all characters. Appreciate y'all, man. Appreciate y'all coming in and holding me down today. Whew. Marcus Harrison, are you here, sir? Voch, what is a 4-5 linebacker gonna do with a 4-4 running back on a sweep? Shit, defensive end, take C gap and bounce that thing back. Sir Lawrence McKinney dropped a 5 and says, can we start calling DQ Professor X for these mutant-like players he's assembling? Shit, if he start rolling around that wheelchair with no wheels. Poor Professor X had a wheelchair with no wheels, my boy. You know what I'm saying? All right. Hear ye. Marcus Hardison says, at the volume, that's me and Marv today. We're still not here. At the volume, don't get lost in your pain. Just know that one day your pain will become your cure. Come on now. Don't get lost in your pain. Just know that one day your pain will become your cure. Battle your abyss, conquer it, and enjoy the spoils of war. Young pimp, young goat. Holeless L, Lion Sleep Outside, UNLV, appreciate you, sir. Thank you so much for blessing us with so much knowledge. So much I just feel a little more sophisticated when Marcus Hardison drops his quotes. I feel a little more distinguished. You know what I mean? A little more battle worn when Marcus Hardison drops his quotes, man. Appreciate you, sir. Hey man, and for the rest of y'all, fantastic show. Appreciate y'all. Love y'all to pieces. We are doing some pretty good numbers for it to be the slow period, for it to be dead time and no news going on. Like I said, we're gonna start going on break next week. Thursday is gonna be our last show till we come back July 17th. But it's gonna be a break from the daily show, from the everyday 3:00 Central. Monday through Thursday show, but I'm still gonna be doing pop-up shows. I'm still gonna be collaborating with some friends, kind of like the old YouTube used to be. You know, I'll just pop up live one day and y'all's notifications just gonna have to be on. You know, we're gonna be doing some of that kind of stuff. We got soliloquies coming. We got film sessions coming, so be sure to tap in for that. Be sure to hit all the like buttons on the volume page, all the follow buttons on their social medias. There we go. And follow mine at Voch Lombardi, VOCHLOMBARDI. Also, if y'all want to join the Patreon, that's patreon.com/Voch Lombardi. Most film that I've ever done is going to be on the Patreon, and it's only $1 a month, man. You pay your lit 99 cents. You come in, you get all the access to the draft content that we did. Some of the Cowboy film sessions from last year, any film session that we do moving forward. The film I'm going to be working on, I'm probably going to be watching it in a whole on Patreon, so be sure to tap into Patreon. Pretty good value over there. And then there's twitch.tv/Voch Lombardi. That's my non-football platform. We go over there, we chill, listen to music, react to stuff. We just go kick it, watch movies, watch comedy together, watch videos together. We play some games. We've been playing Ready or Not lately, you know what I'm saying? So that's been a cool little game. All right, love y'all to pieces, man. Y'all hold down for the dope squads and peace, whiskey, bro. Until next time. Okay, so Will Steele's not here to have his fancy goodbye button, you know, his fancy outro with the music, and we do the little banter behind the scenes, you know. So when it's just me, you know, I just say bye. You know, I don't have a fancy outro or nothing like that. I just look in the camera and I just say bye, you know. Bye.